Yes, sorry, had to. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toku Portal Podcast. I am Vashi V, and I am all kinds of fucked up. This is the episode for Kaitou Sentai LupinRanger versus Keisatsu Sentai PatoRanger, Episode 6. I am Vashi V, because I'm a jackass, and said that early. Joining me today are...
Did it decay?
The Little King.
And Rye.
And today we're talking about episode 6. So we start off with a narrator recap, and then we cut to Dogranio's dining room, pretty much, his mansion. He pretty much reveals that he knows that Destro's been plotting something, but he actually doesn't care because he's just super chill like that. But yeah, pretty much Gosh told him about Destro's planning. But he was curious as to whether or not Zamigo was Destro's informant. And yeah, he is. And we get a little shot of some guy whistling in a poncho and sombrero. So yeah, it's starting to look like he's the one who killed the thieves' loved ones.
He is, because in Umika's backstory, you can see him walking by the fountain in the background. You can make out the poncho, and in Kyrie's, he actively walks by him before he kills his brother.
Yep. Yeah, I figured I was just leaving some suspense, but yeah, it's pretty much it. So then we cut to, well, I don't know, did anyone have any other thoughts on the opening scene?
Holy shit, is Amigo creepy as hell. I mean, I get that's what they're going, and for me at least, it's fucking working. He kind of reminds me of Snipe when he first showed up in X8. He even kind of looks like him, so that certainly helps. But yeah, I mean, they had to make a good villain, so why not, right? But please tell me when you did the chill thing, you weren't making a joke. Please tell me you
No,
weren't.
I was talking about Dogranio. I said
Okay,
he's
good.
chill. Yeah,
Okay.
no bad puns from me.
Good. But yeah, not really much else to say on that.
I do like how chill Doug Granio is. Like, Destro wouldn't be so overly cautious if he was like this all the time. I think this is just like part of his retirement. Like, he just doesn't care anymore. He's not going to be in charge much longer if things go according to his plan. I wonder what the history with Zamigo is, though. Why he's not with the rest of them, and what his like deal is. Why they take a particular interest in him. Maybe he's like one of the like a hidden general or something.
Like, I have a retarded ass theory about that, which I will probably get into the particulars of it off the podcast because it does pertain to spoilers. But yeah, I like the fact that the Don is basically go whatever. Because basically, here's somebody who's literally going behind his back and doing shit on his own. And obviously, here's what the fuck was that guy's name again? Mr. Gold,
What?
the hidden general, Mr. Cold. What was his
Oh, Zamigo. I thought you said gold, so I was super confused.
name? Zamigo. Who's from the way I take it is he's pretty much gone rogue. Like he's left the organization and whatnot and is doing his own thing. So the fact that the Don is basically going, yeah, whatever, do what you want. It really shows that either he really just does not care because whoever takes over, he's done with it, or he literally just wants to see what everyone else will do.
Yeah, maybe. Like, that's a pretty interesting theory. Like, he's just So the thing about people, villains in particular, that are immortal is that they just get bored after a while. Like you usually catch them just like sitting on their throne, not doing anything because they've done it all. And Granio has reached that point.
Either that or they go batshit crazy. Sounds really lucky.
Yeah, we'll see. So then we cut to the cafe. Umika and Toma are working their butts off as usual. Kaidi's gone. Toma kind of wonders if Kaidi's looking for information on Boomdalt, but he doubts it. And then we cut to the station. Jim is scanning through a bunch of surveillance footage looking for Boomdalt's human disguise. Keiichiro's actually gone because, like we saw in the last episode, he had a night shift. Then we cut to him in the park we've been using, and he overhears some guys talking about how the thieves are cooler, basically, and he gets pissed. Kairi shows up and wants to get some information on Boomdalt, but Keiichiro straight up crushes a can of coffee and rushes off because he remembers getting his butt kicked by Red. Thoughts?
That's it. No more caffeine and sugar for hot-blooded Reds. I thought we learned our lesson with Lockgate.
I never once saw Lucky drink coffee.
I said caffeine and sugar. Lucky had a lot of sweets. But I mean, I can understand Kyrie like trying to rub it in without really rubbing it in. That just seems like something he'd do. But I don't. I kind of liked how Keiichiro was just straight up ignoring him. Like, screw this, I'm done. Let's just get this over with. And you can really start seeing the cracks in his armor, even now. Like, sleep deprivation probably helped towards that, but what you gonna do?
I'm pretty curious as to what Kyrie's plan was for conversation. Like, was he just gonna be like, "Oh, hey, police-san, you came to my restaurant once. How's work going? Oh, you're having difficulty? Oh no, what's wrong?" Or like just be like super like subtly condescending. But now we'll never know because Keiichiro flipped his shit. I actually kind of expected him to be like, "Oh, sorry," but he didn't. He was just so focused on what he was angry about, he just didn't even apologize to the person he knocked over. Also, I love that just Tuma just straight up has no faith in Kyrie in terms of like doing work. Nah, he's slacking off.
Yeah, I missed 90% of what was just said because my internet is a giant turd. But I'm assuming you're everything up to Kyrie coming back.
We're talking about yeah, Kyrie going to talk to Keiichiro and then getting knocked on his ass.
Like, I kind of expected him to like wait for Keiichiro to throw the can away and just do the same thing as when he basically told him he was gonna miss. Like, I half expected that to just be like a running gag thing of "I know who you are, but you don't know who I am" kind of thing that they just kind of make funny. I mean, they did kind of with this one with the whole jump scare thing, I guess you could call it. Uh, but the fact that obviously Kyrie has wants to actually do his work, albeit not at the bistro, it shows he's not as lazy as like the rest of the team seems to think he is at first. And then of course you've got Keiichiro, who's just very very angry.
and then when we come back, we get the episode title number 6, What Must Be Protected. The officers surround Boondalt in his human disguise, and Tsukasa pretty much reveals that they can scan through surveillance footage. So yeah, his human disguise is pretty much worthless at this point. So they Keisatsu change, attack, but Ichigo stops the others from defeating Boondalt, so he can draw out the thieves and steal the collection pieces. Well, I guess retrieve the collection pieces that they stole. Cyclone and Biker. But Boondalt pretty much just jumps away. And then Tsukasa slaps Keiichiro across the face. And Sakuya cringes in the back. Thoughts?
I honestly kind of felt bad for Sakuya in that moment because he just walked into shit he probably shouldn't have. Not that he could help it, but you know. I can understand slightly where Keiichiro's coming from, like wanting to draw out both of your targets seems like a good idea, but at the same time, I can see Tsukasa's standpoint from like, there's literally an enemy right in front of us, we have him cornered, and his ability is running away. What the fuck are you waiting for? Priorities, dude. Freaking priorities. You know? I could see both standpoints, but bottom line, I felt bad for Sakuya.
Yeah, Keiichiro had a good plan in drawing out the fight. The problem is that that kind of plan needs to be discussed, and everyone needs to be on board with it. So throwing it out of the blue like that, if the team had more faith in him, it might have been fine. But at this point, they clearly are like, no, we can't just improv something like that right now. I'm sure that like once they start to trust him more as a leader, they'll be able to handle things like that. But at this point, defeat the enemy in front of you. It's not like you're never going to get a chance to see the thieves again. And yeah, I didn't notice it the first time. The second time when I watched, I noticed Sakuya like just backing down when the argument happens. Like, oh my god, he really doesn't know what's going on right now.
Like overall, like his idea, Keiichiro's plan wasn't a bad one. The reason why I feel this was an issue with this episode for it was the fact that it violated the whole purpose of the police force. The police force was basically their entire purpose is to defeat the gangler and protect everybody. So him basically letting the monster rampage just to draw out the thieves is wrong, and it's why Ego slapped him. For a while. It's gonna take me a while to get everybody's names, so I'll probably just use code names or their code names.
Her name is Tsukasa, by the way.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna remember that, even though I should. It's a very easy one to remember, but I'll probably forget.
You also called
Just
her
think
Nigo
of
by
Sentai
mistake.
Yeah, Sango, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just call her the.
Yeah, Sango.
Just call her the Super Sentai equivalent of Decade.
Or I'll just call her Pink.
Or
That
pink.
works, too.
Pink is fine.
Pink-
The only
Pink or
color
red.
that you can't say is red.
Is red. And I actually have those two names down, as everybody else I don't. But like it's why she got pissed off and slapped him, and it makes sense. Like I take this entire episode for me was the equivalent of in Deca Ranger where Bond finally calms down. To me, this was about the equivalent of that for me.
You remember that time Bond drop kicked Blue?
Yeah. I'm sad we didn't get much more of that kind of stuff in this series. I mean, but we literally have two teams fighting each other, so it kind of is alright that there's not that much internal conflict between the teams. Um, but yeah, fucking Green basically sitting there as the third wheel, going, "What the fuck did I just walk into?" was fucking hilarious. Like between ignoring Kyrie and uh, Kaiichiro, he is my favorite character so far. Just because of the way he acts, because he reminds me of Doc if Doc wasn't a giant coward.
Yeah, I could see that. So Boondalt retreats. He reverts to human form, but he realizes that he needs a new disguise. So he decides to find Zamigo. I'm guessing Zamigo is the one who's an expert at making human disguises. I don't want to know how he does that. But instead, Gosh shows up and she offers to help him for a price. And we don't know what that is. But it's creepy because she's creepy. But then we cut to Bank and Keiichiro
You
asks
cut off a little
Tsukasa.
bit there. After you're talking about Gosh, you said we cut to, and then you cut off.
Oh, like a canal bank kind of. It's a shot we've seen before, but they haven't used that often recently. But anyways, Keiichiro confronts Tsukasa. He's like, "Why the heck did you slap me?" And she pretty much reminds him of. Well, she asks him first if he remembers what he told her when they joined the global police, because pretty much Tsukasa just cared about the pay and the pension for when they retire. But Keiichiro had some words of wisdom for her. However, Keiichiro couldn't remember them on the spot, and Tsukasa was pissed because she kept his words to heart and has been living by them. Yeah, thoughts.
Talk about a case of don't meet your hero. And in this case, that's a bit harder because she's known him for a long time. It was a nice thing to see, like, Tsukasa basically, I don't want to say idolizing, though, trying to live up to what the standards were that Keiichiro gave her. And it's nice to see a different side of him that wasn't quite so hot-headed, much more. Honestly, it feels like ever since he started becoming a PatoRanger, and probably a little bit before that, of course, it was an entirely different side to him. Like, fighting the Gangler, I get. Like, that's the only reason he joined that department, but it seriously feels like ever since, it probably was actually, when the thieves showed up, he lost what he used to be. He, before all that happened, he seemed very calm and cold, calculated even. I mean, yeah, he seemed human, of course, but it just feels like a whole other side to him that just vanished when the thieves started showing up and he started becoming much more hot-blooded, much more ego-wounded. He feels like he has to constantly prove his authority, which he doesn't really need to do, especially around these guys. So to see that, it felt like a nice contrast to see. And of course, the villain thing. I don't know why, but I always like villain factions that really all monsters. Like, it's a mixture of humans v humans or humans v monsters. I like that contrast because it feels more real. Like, we see it a little bit in Kamen Rider, like Wizard, Drive, a little bit in Ghost, but obviously X8. My point is, it's a nice change that I like. It's just a nice contrast, a little different. So to see it here, like this dude talking with Ghost and stuff, and of course Zamigo, it's cool to see.
I thought about that about Keiichiro. It does seem like something happened though. Like episode 1 when they're going to get the Ganglars, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna arrest all the Ganglars." He's like already like pissed about something. I assume that like he had some kind of experience with one, but we haven't even gone into something like that yet for him. So I wonder if they're building up to it maybe. As for like the humans versus like all monsters thing, you know what? You're right. It is a nice little change of pace when it's just not all mixed all the time. Yeah, they take on human disguises, but they're all monsters. Feels a little feels a little nice.
Like, I'm enjoying the whole disguised enemies things. It works really well in this series. Mainly because it adds to the mystery of literally anybody could be a gangler. We would not know until, hey, there's a fight. So, just for shits and giggles, fucking Hilltop could be a gangler and no one would know. As long as he doesn't use his powers, he'd never be outed. So it opens up the door, especially for like fans and people like me who literally like to just come up with dumb asinine theories at the start of a show to see which ones play out and pan out. This series is really well for that. Like I'm enjoying the having to hunt down the bad guys and all that, and with them actually having human forms, it makes it more of a challenge. Um, Still waiting for, still want to know like the exact way that they do this, because we've had it before where monsters would take human forms. I mean, there was literally an entire Kamen Rider based around that, where they literally took the form of somebody else and killed that person. So is that like this, or is this they're just taking random forms and there's, you know, is there a possibility that this is a way they can get around um, Jim scans to like for tracking? Because if they're taking somebody else's form but they're not dead, then he may find that person and not the monster. I mean, there's several ways that that could work to their advantage, or with how the story itself would work. But I don't know. Um, I also want to know what the difference between the Mr. Freezy powers and Gauch's versions of disguises slash help, because I don't really get how much help that she really was to him this episode.
She gave him a new weapon.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah, he had the one like weird sword, but then afterwards he had like the chakram.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure it out because I'm like, there's something that's slightly different, but it's just slight. Because he still used it the same damn way.
Yeah, stupidly, because he's a worthless monster that they shouldn't have gone for help.
Well, I mean, this is they are monster of the week, cannon fodder shit. So, you know, they're not the brightest bulbs in the box.
Yeah.
They're just slightly above the fucking potterman.
At least this one lasted 2 weeks. But so yeah, we cut back to the cafe. Kaidi's back. Umika's impressed that Kaidi actually got some info, but Toma called him out because he doesn't do any restaurant work. Then Sakuya shows up alone, and of course he's happy to see Umika, but he kind of gets into the fight that Tsukasa and Keiichiro had, talking to Kaidi, and everyone's pretty much shocked, and Kaidi is super amused. He's a great actor. But yeah, Sakuya stops himself because he's pretty much blabbing at this point. Yeah, thoughts?
Sakuya has really been growing on me the past couple weeks. He's just, he's a lot of fun, and he's a nice contrast to like the seriousness of the Pat Rangers. And I will agree with you, Decade. I freaking love Kyrie's actor. He's a riot. And Zero, I don't know if you're listening. If you are, I'm sorry, but I can't help it. I still ship him and Umika so bad, especially considering next week. So I apologize in advance, but the way those two interact is just too priceless not to bank on. I'm sorry.
Uh, I love this scene. I just love how they're getting into the gossip. Like, oh, was Keiichiro cheating on her? Were they a couple? Oh, no, no, no. It was business. Like, oh, what happened? uh, like, yeah, this they do like see this as an advantage for them, but they didn't really know that going into it. They were just kind of like, oh, what's up? I love that Keiichiro like mimics out this, or that Kairi mimics out the slap when Sakuya pantos it. I really hope we get more of this. And that's really all I have to say about this one. You're right, Kairi's actor fucking nails it.
Yeah, Kyrie's actor in this entire season is amazing, and for me, it's everybody on this because every like all the Lupin Rangers obviously know kind of what's going on. They know who all the all the Pat Rangers are, so them to go, oh, are they dating? It's quick thinking on their part to not give away the fact that they actually know who these people are. It's a nice touch. Like I love the pantomime, the way everybody kind of like Sakuya and Kairi kind of got into like the whole pantomiming thing, and just the way the energy was for that scene was just fucking fantastic. And yes, welcome to our weekly Let's Ship People, because Zero's not here.
Okay, so you just made me think of some things, Vashi. Because you're right, Tumo was probably saying like, oh, were they a couple as like a cover up? But we know from experience that Umika is very slow to catch on to anything. So when she heard that and she asked, oh, were they a couple? She was probably being the most genuine. Like, oh, wait, what? I didn't know about this.
Right, like everybody else kind of like Kyrie and Tom picked it up as, hey, they got in a fight because of some dumb shit involving how things were getting handled. And Umiko went, oh wait, they're dating? Oh, that's cute. Oh, they had a fight. That sucks.
No, no,
Like,
no.
she
It was
like,
business.
Yeah, like she was legitimately concerned for their relationship. It was great. It's like these are the type of moments that, as dumb as they would be in any other show, work really, really well here. Like this would be like if Raptor had slapped Spada in Q Ranger, and Hami was there going, "Wait, what?" You know, that to me it equates that.
It would have been too forced and out of nowhere, but here it's built up so well that it's actually kind of interpretational if you don't catch the subtlety of it.
Right, and this series I'm liking because of the subtlety of it. Like even with in a couple episodes ago with Pink and her little love of stuffed animals thing. It was subtle enough to make you think that she had caught on to what was going on, and where it turns out it was like, no, she just liked really cute stuffed animals. It's subtle enough to be misleading. And it works really, really well.
Definitely. So after the commercial break, we cut back to Boomdelt in his human disguise, and he's pretty much just decided to rampage with this new chakram blades. attacking civilians, just so he can draw up thieves and get those collection pieces. So yeah, the police deploy. Sakuya leaves the cafe, and he assures Umika that they'll definitely defeat the Gangler. So the police show up. They case out the change and roll call. Potomon show up, and then the thieves show up and roll call. Already transformed, of course. Red tries to provoke Ichigo, and
You
it
cut
kind
out
of.
again.
Oh, okay. Oh, where did I cut out?
After the
Henshin and
sequel
roll
book,
call
For LupinRanger?
for
Yes.
yeah, Lupin.
Okay, yeah, so they roll call. Then Red tries to provoke Ichigo, and it looks like it's kind of working. And then Boomdolt uses some flying blade attack thing. Red dodges it, but Ichigo takes it head on, and it pretty much sends him flying into a building. And rubble lands on him, but he took it so he could defend the two civilians that were behind him. So after they run away, and Nigo helps him move the rubble, he pretty much reveals that he remembered the words that he told Tsukasa, that the power they obtained with the job was meant to protect people and it shouldn't be abused. And then we get the insert song, which is the opening song, but just the PatoRanger half of the opening with like electric instrumentals. It's great. So good. Thoughts before I move on?
Yeah, I have to agree the insert theme was alright. Keiichiro with his speech I thought was really cool. And hey, we got a Gokai Red moment out of him, so that made me happy. Short, sweet, but for the most part I liked it.
So I have one slight problem with this, and it might just be that I didn't notice it. But with Keiichiro protecting those people, how did he know they were there? Like, normally we get a shot of the character, like, looking back or something to see them. I didn't notice anything like that. Did I miss it?
I didn't notice it either.
Like Vashi said, the show is super subtle. Like when I was watching it the second time, it's during the fight because like Red is on the other side, and you see him look concerned for like 1 second, and then they keep fighting a bit, and then they get attacked.
So it does happen. Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't show the people. He just looks for like 1 second.
That's fine. So long as it shows him looking that direction.
Yeah.
The subtlety of this show is brilliant. Even if it's a little too subtle, it's fine. It's a bit more real that way. Other than that, I'm getting into like the parkour camera work in this series. It's a lot more well played out than the first person weirdness that was in Kyuranger. Vashi?
Sorry, my net dropped again.
Okay.
I know I said it a lot during Q-Rain and all that. It's like, I fucking love the non-CG'd roll calls. I can never say it enough. And Lupin's is the way they pose is amazing. And yeah, I didn't see them either. It was an issue I had when I watched it with the civilians. I missed what Decaded said about it. I know it referenced what I said earlier.
That Keiichiro does give a quick glance early on in the fight to notice them. He just, it just doesn't lay on it, and it's kind of in the background.
Okay, so it's more one of those subtle, does not linger things.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
I also said that like I've been getting into the kind of the parkour camera work in this series, and that's a lot more well done than the first person stuff in Key Ranger.
Like, I really loved the first person stuff when it was Garo in Q Ranger. This, I like the parkour swinging camera single shot thing. It works really, really well, especially when the Lupin Rangers are fighting, because it's very fluid and the way the fight's constructed, it's you don't miss anything.
And not only that, it's a bit more consistent. The first person stuff was like once every 15 episodes that it was just out of nowhere.
Right. And here it's seeming to be at least a consistent enough thing to where it's not jarring when you see it. Because that ended up being the issue with the first person GoPro stuff was that it there wasn't enough of it that every time you saw it, it felt really, really out of place. That and they did it with people who weren't fighting like Garu, in my opinion. Whereas in this one, it's with Lupin Rangers, so it makes sense to have that flowing camera in a fight, and it works really, really well. I love the camera work for this, and the fact that it's done steady. It's not like none of it's jerky or anything else like that. It's like one slow, continuous movement, and I love that. It works really, really well. And then yeah, Keiichiro's speech was nice, even though we kind of get that's what the speech was, at least along this some line of it, because otherwise the point of the slap would have made no sense.
Yeah, I liked it. But then Good Striker shows up and straight up steals the biker piece from Red and tosses it to Ichigo. He attaches it to his VS Changer and uses it for a finisher attack. So the Lupin Rangers have to desperately hold Boomdolt down and steal his collection piece in his safe before he's obliterated. And Red actually has part of his cape seared off from the attack, which he just barely dodged. And after Boomdolt is defeated, Ichigo collapses
Okay,
completely out.
can we just talk about what happened here?
Oh yeah, for sure.
King, you can go first.
You sure?
Yeah, go on. Should I take my headphones off, actually?
No. I'll try to be quick. Yeah, Goody pissed me off a little bit today, but I can understand him wanting to even the odds. And look, we all knew they weren't keeping the bike one, let's be honest. But that scene was just, oh my god. You could feel the desperation, you could, on both sides, really. It was just tangible. I loved it. And the Reds, of course, well, what you gonna do? They're both risk takers, and of course, Keiichiro kind of paid the price on that one. So, but I'll leave it at that because you boys sound like you want to say something. So, all yours.
So I just love all of the commentary here, from like the Lupin Rangers scolding Goody for giving the Pot Rangers the bike back, to them having to run up to the Ganglar and get the collection piece out of its safe while Keiichiro is charging up the finisher, ready to just fire it whether or not they're in front of him. The tire like landing inside the safe was really good. The effects on that were actually really well done. And then I love Kyrie's cape actually getting singed like that. Everything about that was just super well done. this has been a spot on episode.
Like I like the fact that it sent Jacob because it showed just how close that was to actually hitting Kyrie. Um, them having to rush to get it out also fit with everything that we know between the two teams, to where the cops really don't care about anything other than defeating the monster because that's their job. Lupin doesn't really care about defeating the monster; they just want the collection piece. So this is one of those moments with the fact that this is two separate teams and they're not working together plays out really really well, and to me has been the best showing of it, that they're not working together despite the fact you know and that's ignoring the cops trying to constantly arrest him and all that. um it was really well done. I half expected when Goody showed up to do his little spin around and then how he went to Blue. I thought Blue was going to use the finisher, not Keiichiro, because my brain just went Goody's the finish move. So, yeah, them using the bike for it was not what I was expecting. It worked out really, really well. And I like the fact that if when Goody showed up, it was literally let's spin around him and we're going to steal this, but he's not going to know it till after the fact because he usually does that kind of thing anyways when he shows up, kind of flies around him. This one just had a purpose, and it shows that Goody really doesn't care beyond whatever. I mean, Goody's obviously sentient and has his own little plan for shit, I guess, for lack of a better term. And while it seems like it's on a whim, I feel that there's a purpose to it beyond trying to get them to work together, which obviously that's where this Sentai is most likely going to end up leading towards. Um, which also raises questions later on. But yes, everybody scolding Goody was fantastic. And I like the fact that it didn't stop with just this little bit. It continued on later on in the episode, which was amazing.
Yeah, so Ichigo collapses, but the Lupin Rangers decide not to steal Biker back, despite them being down a man. And then, of course, Gosh shows up, revives Boomdolt, and the Lupin Rangers deploy in Lupin Kaiser. Of course, they take some hits, but then they decide to use the Cyclone collection piece for the left arm. And yeah, more awesome effects. They pretty much just use a tornado attack to send him flying, and then just blast him with Blue's machine gun arm. And then Goody takes off, of course. But we do get some kind of funny banter about Goody being worried about his paint getting scratched and stuff. So it was another fun mech fight. And then just real briefly, we cut to Zamigo on the ground laughing. And he's kind of pissed because Destra failed to get even one of those collection pieces, despite the info that he gave him. Thoughts?
Okay, sorry. Megazord fight was cool. I did like the banter. Like I said earlier, Zamigo creeps me out. Like him being. I think we can all assume that Zamigo doesn't exactly seem like your everyday monster of the week. He seems kind of up there in the level tiers, especially considering that, Dogran seems to be considering giving him the reins for the mob. So, the fact that he kind of seems pissed off at Destra, who is literally a freaking grenade, I would start to be a little worried, because you wouldn't be pissed off at somebody like that unless you knew you could take them, right? He just creeps me out, and that habit of his, oh my god, it's just... That one's kind of a personal thing, though, because my mom does the same thing, so that... Ugh. Too much said already. Go ahead, guys.
Um, I don't have too much to say about this. Gotch is still uh, really unsettling and unnerving. Uh, for the most part, with the mech fight, I did. Oh, I did enjoy more of the picking on Goody that the Lupins have settled into. I also enjoyed that the face slid out when they called in the next mech for the assist tool. That so that it shoots right out there instead of just coming in out of nowhere. And it got me thinking. With all these different support mech that the pieces are going to be swapping in and out, of course the Sentai has to be in the main cockpit rather than in individual mechs. And it got me thinking about before Kyuranger, when was the last time any Sentai was in individual mechs before we started getting all these mix and match pieces?
So, Kyuju?
Mm, no, once they formed together, they were in the cockpit.
Go Busters?
Uh, you're right, Go Busters.
Yay.
Uh, it just got me thinking about how really well Kyuranger did it. An underappreciated thing. Even though they were in individual mechs, swapping them out didn't matter because they were always piloting one. An advantage for having so many members.
Like, I think the best thing about the Q Rangers mech, in terms of the idea of everybody in their own cockpit, is it made more sense in who is controlling what. Because you quite literally had, okay, well, Spot has a leg, so he's going to control the leg. Whereas when they're all in the cockpit, there's really no set way to tell who's controlling what. Even though the Zords are color coded and all that, it's like once it became a mech, there really was no I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Is you just see everybody moving sticks and shit. And then you get the retard cockpits like Shinkenger and stuff where they just all do it together, I guess. Um, but yeah, it's like even with this one, it's that's the only thing I'm liking about the fact that this is like three people. You have the way I look at it, Red's controlling the main portion of the body, and the other two are controlling each individual arm, which would make sense. Other than that, as into the hell knows kind of category. Um, but yeah, I liked the cockpit opening up again. It's like I enjoy seeing that during the mech coming together, and it was nice to have that continue, if only for the fact that we know the way these machines work is they literally fly off the gun. Then you don't have to have some dumbass explanation for why you didn't blow a hole through the cockpit. It's a nice touch. I'm very curious how that works with the PatoRanger's mech. I'm not sure if they did that last week or not because they didn't mech to do it. So I guess we'll see that next week, in theory.
No, Power Rangers just did their normal mech last week.
Right, that's what I thought. Because like that was the issue I had with the LupinRangers even having the bike. Cause it literally came down to, well, how are the cops going to get it back? Because they're the ones who use those. Cops use land vehicles. LupinRangers use the plane vehicles. So it wasn't a matter of, oh, well, where's that one going to fit? It was literally just, when are they getting it back? I'm like, I enjoy the consistency of it, but I think that kind of ruins a little bit of it if the LupinRangers get a hold of any of them, because then it's quite literally, well, when is a cop's going to get it back so it can be used? But yeah, overall, it's like, while despite the fact that this was a short mech fight, this was a mech fight that I would have enjoyed seeing a lot of in like Q Ranger or anything else, because it wasn't just, I'm a mech now, let's shoot a giant beam, or it wasn't immediate. Let's just jump to the finish and just be done with it. It's like there was a little bit of substance to it, even though it was small. And yes, it was just point to show off the new mech part. It was still really well done.
So we cut back to the cafe. Surprisingly, not really surprisingly, but Kogure lets the thieves hold on to the Cyclone collection piece, and then he puts Boondolt's piece into the magic book. And then he burns his tongue on some tea or coffee. So, yeah, after seeing what the heck Goody did, maybe Kogure isn't completely bad, but he's still pretty shifty. But then we cut to the headquarters. Hilltop forgives Keiichiro and gives him a snack, of course. Uh, and then Tsukasa points out that the thieves didn't take advantage of their weakness and try to steal Biker back, but they kind of just let him go and have it. And then Keiichiro kind of wonders who the heck Red is, because clearly he's not just pure evil. Thoughts?
I'm not gonna waste my breath on what I've said my theories about him time and again. So until they actually confirm something in the show, I won't waste my breath on him. Hilltop, I will gush over to the cows come home. I freaking love him. He's such a nice guy. He's forgiving. He's a lot more lenient for than you'd think, but I like that. Kind of gives me Kamen Rider Drive feels. That brings me back. But one thing I kind of noticed, I do get like Keiichiro wanting to own up to his mistakes. I do like that they were playing around with the idea that maybe we could work something out with them in the near future. Obviously near, because like you guys said, we all know where this is heading. But I couldn't help myself when Keiichiro turns to like the sign they have that warns people of the LupinRangers. Vashi, I'm sorry if you wanted to point this out, but I gotta say it now. I freaking hated that sign when it zoomed in on LupinRanger. I was like, fuck you! He does not look anything like that. But did anyone else think it looked like somebody familiar? Such as a certain... Oh, I don't know. Imagine.
What? Okay, I need to get another look at that.
Yeah, kind of like the chibi versions of
Right
Momotaro.
on the money button.
It looked like a French person Jewish shippy version of Momo.
His idea, not mine. Still, I just
And
said
it's amazing.
fuck you when I saw that, because that's just prejudice now. But yeah, not really much else.
I guess it does. The art style does look like the one from those Deno movies. Uh, I'm glad that Keiichiro was able to like admit his mistake and like realize like, hey, this other thing that is also my deals is a bit more important to me right now. It really actually takes a lot to be able to do that. Uh, I hope that he frequents the restaurant more and gets like more friendly with Kyrie, so that it helps build up to the reveal of who Lupin Red really is. I'd like to see how that plays out.
That actually would be amazing, because like it would be either okay, this helps me work with them, or to be, you son of a bitch. I'm okay with either. Um I still have my suspicions that Kogure is somehow working with at least director Hilltop, 'cause we have no other explanation, at least at the moment, of how they've been getting any of the VS stuff. Um, the issue with the poster, the biggest issue I had with the Lupin Ranger poster was the fact that this is a, you know, serious crime division section, for lack of a better term, and they basically have the posters that they put up for kids.
I'm sure Jim Carter drew that in his free time. And he's like really proud of it, and they didn't want to tell him, so they put it up anyways.
Nobody wanted to tell their child that their art was shit, so they just hung it on the fridge anyways. But yeah, that, like, as soon as I saw it, my brain went, Momo! God damn it. Things need to stop reminding me of Deno. For the love of God, stop reminding me of Deno.
No!
I don't want to think of retarded ass timelines again.
Fair enough, but I'm always cool with thinking about Zeranos.
But yeah, all in all, is like, I have theories and stuff that I am worried about, but at the same time, it's like I want to see how any of it plays out. Because I pointed out the theory of that Kogure is somehow tossing the shit to the Pet Rangers, which would explain why he doesn't care that they don't get it now. If you're the one who gave it to him, why would you want somebody to go get it back? It's just
So,
stupid.
Hilltop did mention that their HQ has been studying the collection and have authorized them for use. So we don't actually know when they received the pieces in the first place.
Right. It could be one of those, like, they found them and they're studying them to see if they could be of use. Or somebody gave them to study to use.
Anyways, we've been going on a while. Final thoughts on the episode?
It was great, and I cannot wait for next week.
Pretty much ditto at this point. I want next week now. Oh,
Yeah, I have no worries about this series. Like, the writer is killing it.
They're, like, this series is doing amazing. It's like, because you look at, like, the start of Q Ranger, and it's like, this is fucking terrible. And then it picks up. It's like, whereas you have this, and this is just fucking awesome. Please don't fuck it up.
I'm sure they
Please
won't.
don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. Everything I have seen so far in the actual show, a little bit I've seen for scans and stuff like that, this show is going to be amazing. Just don't fuck it up.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with Kamen Rider Build. Things are getting really intense, and then we'll be back next Tuesday for more Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger. See you next time.
Thanks for listening.
adieu and later, taters.
See you later, guys. Thanks for joining us.